Hello players and playerettes, do you want to fall in love with Fallout 4 once again?
What is love?
Not now, Sam. Do you want to reignite that post-apocalyptic passion and the nuclear fires of, euphoria? Well, with this 10 super hot new mods, you certainly will. Okay, so you want to get back into Fallout. What is the first thing you do? You obviously go for a fresh start and start a new game. And the best mod to do this would be Start Me Up Redux, an update for alternate start and dialogue overhaul. The original Start Me Up mod has been abandoned and this one is pretty much its successor. In short, this mod allows you to start differently. You can just skip the whole pre-war section if you want. Take one last look at your hot wife and that's right, it was all just a dream. Actually, we live in the post-apocalyptic Commonwealth and this time we are a mechanic. You can select many parameters here, like your starting level, location, gear, knowledge and so on. And then you start your new life in a completely different way. Just don't forget to check what difficulty you are playing on, or your journey might end really fast. This mod edits most of the vanilla questline and is incompatible with mods that do anything with the vanilla questline, obviously. In other words, this mod is not just a quick start mod, it actually completely overhauls the storyline. No more looking for Sean if you so wish. As a matter of fact, there is no Sean anymore. Sean! Yes, Sean is gone. Now I am just a mechanic who is trying to make a living in the post-apocalyptic world. This mod allows you to experience the game from a completely different perspective and try to do things in a way you would do yourself in such a situation. In other words, lots of roleplay possibilities. Oh, and by the way, if for some reason you do just want a quick start without changing the main storyline, alternatively you can use the SKK Fast Start and Piper Interview Restored mods. This combo allows you to get to the part where you exit the vault really fast and also adds some content that was originally cut from the game in that interview with Piper. Next, a couple of mods to overhaul the crafting experience. Starting with Equipment and Crafting Overhaul Redux. Say hello to the new Universal Workbench this mod introduces, and also to its portable variant you can drop and use wherever you want. The Universal Workbench combines all the vanilla crafting stations into one easy-to-use tool. So in other words, you can do all the vanilla modifying, but also create completely new items here. This mod, however, does not only make crafting way more convenient, but also adds almost limitless stat modification for any item, if you should so desire. There is a huge MCM menu, of course, where you can choose which of those new modifications you want to have in your game and which not, hotkeys for the mobile workbenches and much more. This mod also adds tons of new receipts for things like ammo, armor and weapons and even some random junk. There is even a quick modification option accessible through hotkey or MCM menu. In other words, the amount of features this mod holds is insane. To access the custom modifications, by the way, you have to create an entry point first and then modify the item. Then the new options will show up. Now you can do all kinds of crazy things, like for example make an armor part invisible or change its size in the armor appearance submenu. In other words, set your fashionable creativity to a whole new level.
Fashion. Who needs fashion? Functionality is where it's at.
Ah yes, Sam, thank you for your opinion, but I think a lot of players want to have their post-apocalyptic adventures fashionable.
Whatever, meatbag.
Anyway, another mod to add to the experience is Legendary Effects Overhaul. This mod adds even more modification options. With it you can swap legendary effects from item to item, optionally even craft legendary effects and equip them, even increase the legendary slots. You can make an item with up to 5 legendary slots if you want, although that would probably be quite overpowered and only suited for extremely difficultly modded games. What's more important, however, is that this mod also introduces a lot of brand new legendary effects. Some of them come straight from Fallout 76, and some are just newly invented ones. Needless to say, lots of variety and new gameplay possibilities ensured. And one more mod to add to this mixture is New Equipment Overhaul. The options this mod provides target different clothing items. It's somewhat of a lightweight alternative to Armorsmith Extended. Basically, you will be able to make clothing items invisible to avoid clipping, or the other way around, wear vanilla and modded clothing items, like suits for example, under your armor. You will also be able to apply ballistic weave to such items once you have unlocked it. Another feature of this mod is functional headlamps. There are several headgear items with integrated lamps, and now you will be able to turn those on and off. And another small but important feature of this mod is that you will be able to equip different vanilla items for Nick Valentine. That's also quite a nice bonus. Of course, all three of those armor-related mods are part of the same series and work very well together. The next mod we are going to take a look at is Leveled Items Fixes. Since DLC and obviously also mods add tons of items into the leveled lists, like weapons and armors, things can become chaotic and not function as intended. This mod aims to bring more control into the leveled lists business. As you start the game, it will ask you if you want to inject the new items. There is also an MCM menu where you can control the legendary drop chance, for example, and also inject or remove items manually. Other than that, this mod does many things actually, like fixing different item level calculations or correcting spawns for different legendary item types. It is a lot of stuff, those fixes are important, but it's not really something that can be shown off in a fancy way in a video. And therefore, next mod. And the next mod can be shown off quite well, Munitions Ammo Expansion mod. This mod, just as the name indicates, is able to bring a lot of new ammo types into the game. And I am saying is able to, because while this mod indeed has a lot of new ammo types to offer, it does not do so voluntarily. What I mean is, this mod does not do anything on its own. It's just a framework for new ammo. If you install this mod only, the new ammo will not be distributed throughout the game. You also need a distribution mod, like for example the equipment and crafting overhaul we took a look at earlier. Then you will also need the patch mod Munitions ECO, so the equipment and crafting overhaul can distribute the new ammos in your game. Then you can open the Munitions configuration holotape, which will be added automatically, and configure which ones of the new ammos you want to have injected into your leveled lists and which not. The new ammos should then start spawning around 72 in-game hours later. It is a bit tricky, but the impact and the gameplay variety is certainly worth it. Next we have a very cool interface mod, Wheel Menu, FallUIified. This is an update for the wheel mod we reviewed quite a while back in episode 35, so we are literally reinventing the wheel here.
Haha, very funny.
Shut up, Sam. So this mod here does not only make the wheel look way cooler, but also makes it compatible with item sorter mods, like Fizz from the FallUI mod series, which by now hopefully everybody uses, because it's absolutely freaking awesome. Now I probably don't need to explain how the wheel menu works. You just hit down on the D-pad, or you assign a hotkey in the MCM menu if you are on keyboard and mouse, and then you can access all the stuff super fast and easy. And the regular quick menu obviously still works too, it's not replaced or anything. So, needless to say, the wheel menu is pure awesomeness, like in all the other cool games. For example, Kingdoms of Amalur. Really need to get back to this one. Next we are going to talk a bit about graphical improvements. Far Object LOD Improvement Project is a mod that improves LODs. Do I really have to explain what LODs are?
Allow me. LOD stands for Level of Detail and represents simplified models in a virtual environment. You see from a set distance until you get close enough to see the fully rendered model.
Wow, Sam, you are actually being useful here.
That will be 10,000 bottle caps, please.
Yeah, you wish. Anyway, this mod alone only gives you the assets, and to see a change in your game, you have to generate the LODs with XLODgen. You can of course also just download the pre-generated file from the download section. This is actually what I did, but depending on what kind of retexture and so on mods you have, the results will obviously be way better if you generate the LODs yourself. The other mod is for the NPCs, Expressive Expressions. This one aims to improve the different facial expressions and make them more lifelike. What I really like about this mod is it's nothing exaggerated and still close to the original vanilla facial expressions, yet still so much better. There are also some extras you can choose from in the mod during the installation, like an extra white and shiny teeth replacer. You can also choose between a closed mouth and open mouth for some expressions and so on. It's definitely a very good mod to make the NPCs seem a bit more realistic. And now comes a very important mod, or more like a very important question. Who's the general? Now this is an absolute must-have, because one of the main reasons people hate vanilla Fallout is Preston Gravy, or whatever his name was, so it is obviously of high priority to fix this nuisance if you want to get it on with Fallout once again. There are many similar mods of course, and this one has a lot of compatibility patches, but the features of this one alone already stand out quite a bit. Obviously it fixes the annoying "don't blink or I'll give you a new settlement quest" problem. Most quests are now also in the "how are you doing" dialogue option, so now you choose when to do them and when not. Also, once you become general, for most quests you no longer need to report back to Preston, because you are the boss and should be treated accordingly. Respect the chain of command, Preston! Another thing this mod does is fixing radio freedom. Now it will broadcast through radios throughout the world even if you are not tuned in. You will however only acquire new quests if you are actively tuned in, so don't worry about that. Alright, to make the Fallout experience perfect though, we shall add some really good brand new content to our love potion concoction. The Fens Sheriff's Department's Bleachers 2, a huge DLC-sized adventure and the sequel to the brilliant mod The Bleachers A Diamond City Story, reviewed back in episode 51. 50 new quests, hours of gameplay, a new ending to the vanilla game, a unique companion, tons of fully voiced NPCs and much more. Also, you do not need to have installed A Diamond City Story. This mod here includes everything, so you can play through the whole content. If you however finished A Diamond City Story in the past, you can also use this holotape to skip straight to the new content. Also, if you want to get the most out of this mod, it's best if you have not destroyed any vanilla factions in this playthrough yet. Actually, it is recommended to play this mod first after you start a new game, and only once you have unlocked this certain new companion, continue with the main story and save Preston. So anyway, this mod adds quite a lot of new life to Diamond City. Fully voiced NPCs, new shops, extremely beautifully crafted environments and high quality storytelling. Well, we have seen some of this beauty already in the review of part 1 of course, but it is safe to say it continues in the same high quality manner. I mean, just look at those earrings, they alone are goat worthy. They are RGB. They are RGB!
I like those power armor lights. Can you craft something like that for my body?
I don't know, Sam. Those are police lights. Somehow that does not quite fit with your style. Now I will try to make this as spoiler-free as possible, but honestly I recommend you to just play this from start to finish, because it's really a far better experience than anything vanilla, in my opinion. So the second part starts with you getting a letter from Sister Lunar, who has a job for you.
Yeah, sure. I suppose I can tell you, just keep this hush-hush. Once we're done, I never met you, if you know what I mean. You see, I had a scaver run off with a payment of mine for some dye fixer.
And once you take care of that little but very fun quest, the real action begins, because now the sheriff's department needs a very important technical mumbo-jumbo.
But we're after a large chunk of delicate equipment called a gas source mass spectrometer.
Okay, this is just another fetch quest, and as a matter of fact, she sends us off twice to find stuff. But it's okay, because now this wannabe Frieza's henchman here has a fetch quest for us. And apparently it's also a moving target, so you can't just fast travel to it. But okay, now we finally will see some awesome action, right?
I don't have much time to talk up here, and I've got to keep an eye on the Fens, so I'll get right to the point. One of the department's scavers was talking about seeing a sealed box of Game Childs at the Wilson Autonoma Toys headquarters. He was going to grab it on a second check through the room, but said the door sealed shut and he didn't have time to go looking for a key. It's not exactly essential supplies, so he left it where it was.
Yeah, that's totally another fetch quest. And one where we have to go get some toys in addition to that. Yeah, it takes a while to get those guys' trust, but at some point they will let you enter their compound without shooting you on sight, and then you can start working with them and take out the other factions and take control over the Commonwealth. They are not really the bad guys or something like that, they are still the good guys, but they just have really ruthless methods and are not afraid to use force.
Major DeVoe is head, in a bag, at my feet, and our symbol on his cold headless corpse.
So, as already mentioned, it's a really well written and high quality quest mod, definitely one of the biggest and best ones out there. And this is it for this episode. The links to all featured mods are as always in the description below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also make sure to leave a comment. All comments help the algorithm. Enjoy the rest of the show, thank you all for watching, and see you around.